I've waited a long time for this. Can you believe it's been a year? Does it feel like it? Okay. Okay. No, just a few weeks, I'm sure. It feels like yesterday when we were up here and I was introducing you as the next club president. With your biggest fans, your parents, receive your gavel. Along with your second biggest fan club, the team from MSOE. I know being president is a lot of work, but I have to say, my year as being past president has been lovely. When I was president-elect and getting ready for my first meeting, Saj was right there supporting me. I kind of felt like we were in it together. ChatGPT had been introduced to the public in December of 2023 before my year began, and it was all the buzz. I really wanted to have a speaker on the subject, and Saj helped by getting Jeremy Kajura, the Pieper-powered endowed chair of artificial intelligence at MSOE, as my first speaker. Jeremy was insightful and thought-provoking, and I was excited to begin my year with such a relevant topic. Fast forward to Saj's first meeting. I wanted to get to the meeting a bit early to wish him the best, but it was obviously not early enough, because when I rolled down my window to tell the parking lot attendant that I was with Rotary, he told me the lot was full and I would need to find another place to park. All I thought was, wow, your first Rotary meeting and the parking lot is full. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. I quickly parked along Lincoln Memorial Drive and zipped back to the War Memorial, grabbed my lunch, and found one of the last empty seats in the room. Nope, there wasn't enough time to wish Saj good luck, but as we all know, he didn't need it. He was a natural at the podium, completely in his element. The panel on voting and election integrity in Wisconsin was one of the most informative and interesting meetings I've been to. What a first meeting. I knew it was going to be a great year. Our club has intentionally chosen presidents who are diverse. Looking at this picture, you may first think I mean diversity of gender or ethnicity, but the most impactful diversity between the four of us is the diversity of our strengths and backgrounds. Karen is an advisor of board governance and strategy. I am a CPA. Saj is the marketing and community engagement executive at MSOE, and Kent is our Milwaukee County DA. Each president has different focuses during their year and often leans into their experiences and passions to help the club in specific areas. How lucky were we to have Saj and all his talents this year promoting our club, highlighting our brand, and marketing all that is the Rotary Club of Milwaukee. Saj was the first point person from our club working with Forward 48. Forward 48 is a premier leadership program designed to connect the next generation of changemakers with the people, knowledge, and resources to move their companies and communities forward. Our connection to Forward 48 has tapped us into the up-and-coming leaders in our community, and Saj has been an enthusiastic supporter of those who have completed the Forward 48 program and become members of our club. Though Saj may be more of an uncle in age compared to our newer millennial members, I know you don't believe that, his personality and energy are really more like a big brother. He is youthful, fun, and funny, to say the least. This was the year where marketing our club has hit on every cylinder. Marketing externally and internally. Who we are, what we represent, and why leaders should join our club. I first would like to give a big shout out to the marketing committee chairs, Dave Murphy and James Madlam. It's not a committee we talk about often, but the work they do is exceptional and really puts our club at a level above the rest. Starting with our connecting logo, which was designed by the marketing committee and is now part of the picture in the email the Rotary Foundation sends out, and was front and center at this year's Rotary International meeting, where our Rotarian, Paige Gradke, was sporting our Connecting t-shirt. This picture was taken of Paige at one of our Done in a Day events, where many club members were planting trees at the Rotary Arboretum. Also, during this year, we kicked off Connections, the podcast, a first for Rotary clubs across the nation, with Saj as the first Rotarian interviewed by our fellow Rotarian, Tom Lujek. Since Saj's podcast, there have been 7 more produced. That's not okay. 7 more produced, with the latest one being Beth Werrick, our Rotary Person of the Year. I highly recommend listening to these podcasts. I have thoroughly enjoyed all of them, learning about each Rotarian, what they do, and how their work impacts our city. And as you know, the post of the week has been a huge hit. Many social media mugs were given out during Saj's year, with posts from numerous Rotarians on all sorts of topics. I do think Antoine was the most animated when he finally received his. It has. This week's Post of the Week mug is going to Elizabeth Szynski for her post on Beth Werrick, our Rotary Person of the Year. Yes, you should be very excited. And since there were so many excellent posts last year, we wanted to retroactively award a few of our sought-after social media mugs to Anthony Cruz, Dan Schiller, Matt Hunter, and to the Rotarian who probably could have won the Post of the Week many times over, Mary McCormick. Congratulations to everyone. The competition will get stiffer next year, as the Post of the Week will change to the Post of the Month. So going forward, you will need to be that much more creative to be the winner of the social media mug. Overall, the marketing team touches everything in our club, from PR to swag, and we all look so much better for all they do. One of Saj's goals this year was to push to get membership back around pre-pandemic levels. He and the membership committee started the Rooted versus Rising Challenge, and we all now know the Rooted team won. Thank you very much. I'm on that team. The club introduced 50 new members during this year, along with 6 returning members. We are on a roll. This is a fantastic accomplishment, and Saj's commitment and excitement around increasing our membership is felt by all of us, so thank you. The committee that is hand in glove to membership is member engagement. Engaging takes many forms, whether it's conversations at your table prior to lunch, joining a committee, attending various events like Thai Rotarian tours or live at the lakefront, volunteering at Done in a Day, or mentoring one of our scholars. There is really something for everyone. Though Saj has been a part of numerous activities and events, most recently tapping the keg at Estabrook Park at our June social, I think the most impactful member engagement activity for him has been mentoring our scholars. His current scholar, Yahir Gonzalez Guerrero, is an engineering student at MSOE and will graduate this December. His time helping Yahir navigate college, get an internship, and prepare for his career after college is one of the most impactful things you can do in our Rotary Club. Mentoring scholars is just as rewarding for mentors as it is for scholars. Our recent large project, the Beeline Park, has engaged Rotarians over multiple years. With the kickoff of the large project happening in Karen's year, the selection of the project in my year, the fundraising in Saj's year, and the completion of the project happening in the upcoming years. I have to say, I was not envying Saj for having the fundraising year, but he and the large project committee knocked it out of the park, raising over 110% of the goal. They made it look easy, which it is not. Congratulations to everyone. To round out Saj's year, we had our June golf outing to support our scholars. As we all know, there is a very experienced and exceptionally dedicated golf committee at the helm to put this event together. The committee chairs are Gene Casey, Mike Kelman, and John Ferguson. But to assist them, Saj jumped in to add his own spirit and spin to make the event the best one yet. He promoted the event by leading a Rotary meeting in his green jacket and brought his caddy along. I don't think any past presidents have a green jacket or their own personal caddy for that matter. He put together the Cracker Jack team of Burke, Reynolds, Reeve, and Thachenkary. Their side bets alone raised enough money for an additional scholar. We'll be looking for that check soon. He created marketing posters for the event. His name and face recognition for the Champions Challenge sold out the event and kept the silent auction bidding coming in strong until the very end. I think someone even won their own gopher. And to make sure the event was over the top, he arranged for perfect weather, something the past 6 presidents have not been able to do. Saj, you have done it all. Promoted our club from engaging new members to kicking off the first Rotary podcast. Increased membership through some nice, friendly competition, and been a cheerleader for member engagement. Raised the money and then some for our large I have thoroughly enjoyed your year and love the energy you bring to everything you do. Everyone, please join me in congratulating Saj on a great year. I'm not getting the manager.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you all. Thank you, President Leslie.
I need to hand you this.
Oh, okay.
It's in the script.
Okay.
Here is your gavel,
Wow.
your plaque, and your pin. So don't forget that.
Thank you so much.
We'd like to, obviously, once again, let's congratulate our 2024 to 2025 President of Rotary. Okay, I'm gonna take this, and I think you have it from here.
Great, thank you. But hang on one sec. Hans, can't have a celebration without champagne. Cheers. Well, thank you all, and thank you, Leslie. It is hard to believe that it has been a year. And I think back on a year ago, seeing Leslie at the podium when she introduced me, and she had kind of this light, airy glow about her. And I didn't understand it then, but I do understand it now as we stand here. Kent, you're going to understand it in about 365 days. So as I wrap up my term, I'd like to just take a moment to thank some people who've made this year particularly meaningful. First, President Leslie, Thank you for always being there to answer my questions and always offering encouragement when it felt like I needed it most. Thank you, I appreciate you. A special thank you to our Rotary Board and Committee chairs, and if I could just ask you to stand really quickly. Any board and committee chairs in attendance? These folks' commitment and countless hours of service are what make this club the powerhouse that it is today, so thank you. I want to thank my team at MSOE, so if you could stand, the MSOE team. Thank you for picking up the slack during my year as president. I'm told it was the most productive year in MSOE marketing and community engagement history. I look forward to returning tomorrow to add a layer of unnecessary bureaucracy. So, to Kent, you've got a full plate as Milwaukee's DA, but I know you'll bring energy, thoughtfulness, and balance to this next chapter. Jackie, my wife, and I have been fortunate enough to know Kent and Susan for decades. Jackie and Kent began their careers together, and they are exceptional people, wonderful parents, and I think Kent is a man of what I'd say incredible character and integrity, but also a sneaky good sense of humor. Don't tell the bad guys, but he's got a sneaky good sense of humor. Kent, I know you'll bring the same dedication and level-headed leadership you bring to the job every day, to this job as Rotary President. Kent, I think you're going to be an exceptional Rotary President, and I'm looking forward to the year ahead. Mary McCormick, where's Mary? Mary, please stand. Mary, who I've often said is the best Rotary Executive Director on the planet. Mary, our club's culture, strength, and growth are a direct reflection of your leadership. You've been our compass, our glue, occasionally our cat herder. And like a swan, Mary is graceful above the water, but probably paddling like crazy underneath the water. Thank you, Mary. Mary's going to leave big shoes a year from now when she retires, but she's left a solid foundation for the next ED to build on. And I want to thank our associate ED, Melissa, Aaron, and Ann. You've kept things running so smoothly during my time as president, making me look far more competent than I really am. So thank you for your support every week. You know, you heard it today from Patrick, but I don't think there's ever been a time in Rotary's 110-plus year history that the concept of service above self has been more relevant, more important, or more necessary than the times we find ourselves in today. Even as factors work to divide all of us along political, social, or ideological lines, Rotary provides a safe space, a rare safe space, where the golden rule is still practiced and still supported and guided by the four-way test that is on display behind me. That rare place that brings people together to celebrate different perspectives and experiences in an environment centered on civility, mutual respect, and the capacity to learn and grow from one another. What a wonderful thing we're all part of. So as people of action, I want to leave you with one small challenge. Engage with Rotary just a little bit deeper in the year ahead. Invite a leader you know to join us for lunch, or better yet, invite them to be part of our club, now 360 members strong and growing. Join a committee and engage in the important work that our club does for our members in the community. Lastly, consider becoming a sustaining member. I did literally just yesterday. And for a little bit extra each month, you can support the incredible work that our club does here in Milwaukee and around the world. It's as simple as sending an email to Aaron. Finally, I want to thank all of you, all of our 360 members of the RCM. We're all links in a very important chain and keepers of a very important story that dates back to 1905 and a young Chicago attorney named Paul Harris and three friends of his. That story has been passed from one generation of leaders to the next for over 110 years. For me and for many of us, that started with my father, but it was reinforced by close friend Jamie Reeve. Jamie, thank you for being the shake to my bake. And today, we have the honor of passing this along to leaders like Hannah Paul, Tom Hughes, Antoine Carter, Elizabeth Draper, Jeremy Janine, Audra Brennan, Carol Alexander Barnes, Paige Radke, and so many other great young leaders. If we do our jobs as Rotarians, that chain only gets stronger and the impact reaches from Milwaukee to around the globe. So never forget the important work and the important part you play in that story, because now more than ever, the world needs more Rotarians. It's been a great year. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as your president. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. I gotta say that beer tasted pretty good. Now, I'd like to introduce you to your new Rotary President, Kent Lovern. Kent?
Well, thank you, Saj, and thanks to all of you. It is a real honor to stand here before you today. I will tell you that after Leslie's tremendous speech about Saj, everything so well deserved as she said it so eloquently. My wife, Susan, who you were introduced to a little while ago, leaned over to me, and as someone who knows you, has known you for over 30 years, can only say to you, she said, you know, you're not fun enough to do this job. And I said, fortunately, everyone in this room knows that about me. So, but I would like to begin by thanking Saj. You know, we all have seen his public persona, and it's so warm and gracious. He does it all so naturally. And what I want to point out to you is behind the scenes, actually, he's been even a greater president than what you have seen up here. You know, he has taken on such a conscious understanding of, along with Leslie, the need to transition leadership and how to make things work seamlessly from year to year in order to get the work done of this organization and support Mary. And Saj has just worked very closely with me over the last year, now with President-elect Beth, and I really appreciate his attention to detail in that regard. And we've been friends for many years, as he said, and so it's been personally great to spend this last year with you, Saj. So thanks again. You've been an awesome president. Thank you. And of course, I would like to thank the incomparable Mary McCormick. And I do say incomparable because, as Saj alluded to, she truly is a wise executive member nationally. And for any of us who've gone now to conferences with Mary, and you see the clubs, especially the big city clubs, Mary, when she arrives, is flocked to, literally, by every executive director from every big city in America. And that's no lie. She really is the guru of executive directors in this nation and so highly respected. And we've just been so fortunate to have you for all of this time, Mary. And I will say we will certainly take opportunities to express our gratitude to Mary throughout the year, hopefully in some ways that are a surprise to her, and that will be fun. And in large part, thank you to Saj. We, as announced, have a thoughtful plan to implement this transition moving forward, and we'll do so in an appropriate manner. Speaking of Mary, she and I recently attended the Rotary International Convention in Calgary, which was a great experience. And you may have noticed that the new Rotary International president actually stepped into the role just literally a week before the convention. And for some reason, the president-elect had to suddenly step away from that. So he took this mantle very, very suddenly. He spoke at a luncheon that Mary and I attended, and he was incredibly humble in taking his position. The Rotary International theme for this year was already established as Unite for Good. And he said at the luncheon, why would I change that? What could be better? And he's absolutely right about that. Unite for Good is a mantra that certainly resonates today, but it is a timeless standard that essentially has defined Rotary from its very beginning. And for over a century, the Rotary Club of Milwaukee has united for good in so many ways. Our weekly meetings provide a place for our members and guests to gather in fellowship and to connect with the many ongoing activities of this club. We provide the largest local ongoing forum for respectful public discourse about important issues and happenings, both here and abroad. And that is so important for that forum to exist, particularly in this day and age. And we all bring into this room shared values of integrity and mutual respect through our four-way test that connects us all, regardless of our backgrounds, beliefs, and views. And it's so critical to maintain that. Beyond our lunch meetings, the members of this club are truly people of action, motivated to better the lives of those in this community and beyond. The range of service we engage in is widespread, from our done-in-a-day projects to our longer-term work, tutoring elementary students, for example, or mentoring first-generation college students. And now, because of the work of everyone in this room, we've shepherded 50 college graduates in their first in their families over the last 12 years of the scholarship program. That's enormous. We've helped lead large community-wide developments like the Rotary Centennial Arboretum, the Johnson's Park Project, MK Urban Stables, probably none of which would exist without our role in helping steward that project along in the community. And on the global stage, we're engaged as well. Literally thousands and thousands of Guatemalans have had their lives transformed by the work that this club has done, personally engaging in construction projects in Guatemala. When we were in Calgary recently, Susan and I and Mary and Tim had dinner with Julio Grazioso, who coordinates all the Rotary Club efforts in Guatemala. So he chairs all of that work going on in his homeland of Guatemala. And many clubs throughout the country help out with this. But we are one of clearly the most engaged clubs in this, and he truly loves this club. He loves Mary, of course, but he truly loves this club and our constant efforts there. And hopefully he'll be here to join us at a meeting at some point later this year. And of course, millions worldwide, millions have been saved by our global efforts to eradicate polio. And that is something that some call the largest medical accomplishment of our time. And everyone in this room has been a part of accomplishing that. And so in addition to this ongoing work, we know additional opportunities for service will arrive at our doorstep sometime this year. We know that will happen. Who knew, for example, the year before it happened, that Rotarians in this club would be engaged in an active way in quickly marshaling resources for people of Ukraine. We didn't know we would be doing that the year before, but when that opportunity presented itself, we acted. And something will happen this year that requires immediate response from us. And that will happen because increasingly communities are reaching out to this club because they know that the service of this club is broad, it's deep, it's impactful. It's also important to name all of the opportunities for social engagement within our club, our connectors groups, our Tyrotarian events, our happy hours, our much-loved Live at the Lakefront series that kicks off tomorrow night. And people who've been engaged in that project have done so. It's been a labor of love now for well over a decade, a tremendous event. I want to make a special shout out to President Leslie because during her term, she really focused on the need for this club to re-engage socially after the pandemic. And everyone in this club responded to that. We all agreed with that need to do so, and we really saw the resurgence of social activity in this club and expanded to guests beyond our club members. And when you look at that, along with the emphasis that Saj's term placed on membership growth, we have all responded by growing our club in a substantial way, as Patrick has already pointed out. This coming year, we just need to keep building on this progress that we have made to restore a club that is really thriving by any definition of the word. And I want to point out that this is unique because we have seen across the country everything changed after the pandemic, and some Rotary clubs in big cities struggled, lost a number of membership that they've struggled to retain. We are moving in exactly the opposite direction, and that's not happening by accident. It's happening because of everybody in this room and all of the members of this club. So in conclusion, I will say that as I reflected on today, I did notice that 23 years ago this week, I actually walked through these doors for the first time to my first Rotary Luncheon meeting. And I will say I was hopeful, I was curious, I was honestly somewhat intimidated. I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know what it would really mean to be a Rotarian. But over the years, I have met the finest, most authentic, enjoyable, fun, cool, funny, certainly more than I am, people who love serving this community and do so with this warm spirit and heart. And my experience in this club has really exceeded my biggest hopes. It really has. And I want that for every new member we bring through those doors into this room. I want that for everyone who comes into this room. I want everyone to see this special community that unites for good. So I'm grateful to help steward this organization in the year ahead. Thank you all so much.